I allow my child to join or should I join the military? That's what my topic is about. So let me explain to you real quick. The real question you should ask yourself is, should you join? And why should you join? What are you joining for? What's your reason behind joining? Why do you want to join? What put in your mind the idea to join? Same for parents. Why should your child join? Why are you allowing them to join? What reason are they joining for? You have to ask yourself all these questions because joining the military is not just a commitment, it's a sacrifice. It's a true sacrifice. And the reason why I say sacrifice is because you have to have the understanding that at any moment you're going to be asked to do something that is going to go against everything that you ever thought that you were against. They may ask you to die. Yes, they may ask you to die. And you have to be willing to die. And I know most people aren't willing to die. They aren't willing to give up nothing. They aren't willing to sacrifice. But that's one of the biggest things that you have to be willing to do. But most people aren't willing to give themselves up because most people value themselves. I value myself a lot, but I understand that as a service member, I had to be willing to die. As a Christian, as a believer, I have to be willing to die for what I believe in. So sacrificing and giving up my life, that's not something that's very difficult for me. Because even as a husband, as a father, I have the understanding that there's a potential that I can die for what I believe in, for my job as a husband, as a father. So you have to be willing to sacrifice. And then the biggest thing you should ask yourself is, do you know who you are before joining the military? Because most people want to join the military, but they don't know who they are. I mean, and when I say that, they don't know who they are. I'm saying that because I didn't know who I was. Like when I joined the military, I joined it because I wanted some money. I wanted to leave South Carolina. I wanted to get away from where I grew up at. I didn't want to go back to jail. I didn't like being locked up. So I said, you know what? Let me go join the military so I can get away from old little South Carolina so I can do some great things with myself. But the fact of the matter was I joined the military with no intentions on really buying into what the military had to offer. And I found myself having struggles while being in the military. It wasn't until, I guess, I matured a little bit and I got to the point to where I realized that, serving in the military was a lifetime decision because, again, you have to put your life on the line. And if you're going to join for money, if you're going to join for any other reason outside of this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do, then you're going to find yourself struggling when somebody asks you to follow simple instructions. So you have to make sure that you are locked in and you're engaged into what you're joining. And I'm not giving you information just apply to the military. I'm saying that with anything that you do in life, you have to really be locked in and dedicated to what it is that you're trying to do. Because if you're not, you're going to fail, you're going to quit, you're going to make excuses as to why you can't do it, why you don't want to do it, why you shouldn't do it. You're going to find yourself not wanting to wake up in the morning and do it. And then you're going to find yourself on the outside looking and saying, well, this or that, and, just making all these excuses. One of the biggest thing about the military is identity crisis, man. Most of us veterans, people who get out the military, we struggle, man. This is one of the things that people don't talk about. If you didn't know who you were before you went into the military, or you didn't have a game plan going into the military and a game plan for getting out of the military, you're going to suffer real bad. Like, long story short, when I got out as an E5 and I ended up homeless. How? I had no game plan. Had no game plan for getting out. All I knew was after my 7.5, 8 years, I was tired of the military, didn't like being away from my family, and I decided to make a decision to say, you know what, I'm getting out the military. I can't do this no more. Family is bigger than anything. Let me get out. But what I didn't have was a game plan. I know that now they have a lot of resources and things out there for military personnel getting out the military. They have a lot of things to help you out. But true be told, you got to have a game plan. Because, again, if you don't have a game plan going in, then when they present those resources for you, you're not going to have a good game plan for getting out. And most people think, well, I'm just going to get out. Or they see those organizations out there promoting, hey, man, we're going to help military veterans by, giving them first selection when it comes to, choosing a job. And the truth and the reality of that is a lot of people got out the military. A lot of people got out the military. A lot of people are looking for jobs. A lot of people are this and that. So if you don't have a true game plan for getting out, then getting out won't make sense at the moment. And you may need to stay in and, just wait it out. Or, what I'm saying, you may just really need to sit down with someone, figure out what it is that you're trying to do in life and do that. But don't put yourself in a situation where, you cause yourself more harm than you do helping yourself. Because the biggest misconception about the military is people think you could go in there for help. Yes, the military has the tools and the things necessary to help you, but you have to be, number one, willing to help yourself. If you're not willing to help yourself, if you're not willing to apply yourself, if you're not willing to take the necessary steps that you need to do what you need to do, then you're not going to survive. You're going to be one of those ones who's going to get an Article 15, going to get kicked out for a pattern of misconduct, or you're going to get in trouble for sexual assault, alcohol, related incidents, just a number of things that happen to people who join and get in there without game plans, without discipline. Because again, the military don't give you discipline. It's something that you have to have before getting in the military. Because I remember, like, a long story short, when we got in, when I joined the Army, we were in basic training, and I had a gentleman that weren't used to somebody yelling at him, and he literally wanted to jump out the window and kill himself. Because why? He didn't have someone discipline him growing up. So when he got in there, he had to listen to somebody tell him what to do, and he didn't like what they had to say. Then he made a decision to say, you know what, I want to kill myself. And that's what he tried to do. But fortunately, someone saved him and stopped him from killing himself. So again, if you're asking the question, should I join the military, or why should I allow my child to join the military? That's a question that you have to ask yourself, because there isn't really truly a detailed game plan as to should you or should you not. You really have to know that answer for yourself. I would say that I really enjoyed the military. I thank God for all of the benefits and the things that I am afforded and was giving because of my service and because I joined. And it did help me out a lot with figuring out things for myself. Um, and there are a lot of great benefits to it, you know what I'm saying? But those benefits don't matter if you as an individual don't know yourself. And you have to know yourself with anything that you do in life, not just going into the military. You have to know that when it comes to just anything that you do, because if you don't know who you are as a man or as a woman, then you're going to struggle in life. And when somebody come along with some new great idea, you're just going to follow it, you're going to run with it, and you're going to find yourself what we call lost in the sauce. And then now you're like, they said, I used to hear a saying say, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. You're going to be that man or that woman. You're going to fall for anything. And somebody going to come up and tell you who you are. And that's not where you want to be in life. You want to be at a place to where nobody can't convince you. Like, I get many times people who try to convince me about how the Bible is fraud, or they like to come up with all these elaborate answers that they've discovered through YouTube and all these different things. And they like to come and try to tell me as a believer how not to be a believer. But because, I know who I am, I don't worry about what they have to say. Because, at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I am here to do. I know why God called me and what he called me to. And for those who don't know my name is Brother Vince. Brother Vince. Just to help you out, Brother Vince. So I know who I am. So I don't have to answer to anyone or anything outside of God. And that's who I put my trust in. That's who I look to for my help. That's who I get my all in all from. And he's the one that helped me get to where I'm at now. Because at one time I was an atheist, I was lost, and I didn't know who I was. So that's that. And for this person asking me where I'm from South Carolina, man, to be exact. I'm from South Carolina. I'm from a place called Pawleys Island, South Carolina. But as you can see, I'm in the great state of Texas, man. I'm in the great state of Texas now, and this is where I live at. This is where I came to. I'm in the great state of Texas. So if you as a parent or as an individual have any more questions about why should I join or should I allow my child to join, then please, please, please comment in the comment section. Get with me through my email. I got all that stuff written on there, and I'll let you know the answers that you need. And for this brother called Big Dog, you asking me about should I travel from New Zealand? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Should you? Why should you? Why are you trying to travel from New Zealand? Do you really want to be in America? That's the questions you have to ask, because I mean, if you're scared of guns, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, and that's just being honest. I don't have a answer for you. That's only something that you can answer for yourself. I can't give you an answer for yourself, and I won't do that. I won't do you like that by telling you what you should do. That's something you have to ask yourself. Because truth be told, life is hard for those outside of Christ, outside of the Lord. For me, I'm not afraid of guns. I'm not afraid of dying. If I die tomorrow, I know I made my peace with God. I know I've forgiven folks. I know I've been forgiven for what I've done. I mean, I live with the understanding that, you know, as a man, I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I'm a priest in my home. So if I have to die for my wife and my kid, I'm willing to do that. And again, that goes back to just knowing you and your why and who you are. If you don't know that, I don't care where you go in life, you're always going to be afraid of something, someone. For me, I don't fear no one but God, you know, because the Bible tells me to fear not him who can destroy my body, but fear him who could destroy my body and soul in hellfire. So, I mean, to me, ain't nothing worse than going to hell. So, I mean, I can't give you a true answer about that. And for this brother, you know, let me see. This person said I'm living in United Kingdom and it's getting more difficult. Man, only thing I can offer up is prayer, because I know in America, man, it's getting worse over here, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But again, I would say where the Lord has me, man, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I don't know nothing about it because I don't watch the news like that. I don't fill my mind with a lot of different stuff. Like, there are certain things in life I had to learn how to do. Like, I had to learn to, you know, block out all of the things in life I don't want in me. So now when I walk through life, I don't view life as to what somebody else think, in a sense, you know, if that makes sense. Like, I would say, like, you know, a lot of black folks believe that white folks are super racist and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, I don't have those problems. Like, I don't feel like white people have anything to do with my success. I believe that my success is based off of what I do in life. It's based off of my efforts and the work that I put in. You know what I mean? Like, for real, for real. Like, that's how I feel. Like, have I experienced, you know, hatred from someone? Yeah, sometimes they might have been a different, I would say, color. I won't say race, because I believe we all are part of this, the human race. So we all are the same in the sense of being human beings, but we all are different shades of dirt. That's how I say that. So yeah, I've experienced, you know, hate from all kind of people. People hate me because I'm a Christian. When I served in the United States Army, people hated me because I deployed overseas and I did my job. You know, people called us baby killers, you know, a number of things. So, I mean, it just, man, you got to surround yourself with what you want to be. That's what I would say. If you want to be anything in life, you got to surround yourself with that. And not just with people who try to get where you're going, but you got to find people who are where you're trying to be. And that's the, you know, greatest advice I would give, you know, anyone. Somebody asked me a question: have I ever shot anyone? Truth be told, no, I have never shot anyone, but I've been shot at a lot of times. I've shot at someone, but I don't know if I hit. I can't verify and say that. But will I shoot somebody for the family? Yeah, I would. You know what I'm saying? I would, to protect my family, protect myself. Yeah, I would. But that's not something that I would do with the intentions of murdering someone. I don't want to go around murdering people because, again, I'm at peace with my life. So I have no reason to do that. But to defend and protect myself, I do it. You know what I'm saying? I would do it. But this has been another episode with your boy, Brother Vince Vet Talk. I hope I answered all your questions. And if you have any more questions, please, please hit me up in the comment section. This been me, your boy, Brother Vince. I'm out.